Hey, I'm Jared Iwe, the host of Yonder Radio, the syndicated show you can hear across the nation, and you can learn more at yonderradio.com. The interviews you see here are the long-form interviews that generate the content for our radio show. We call this Beyond the Yonder. And today on Beyond the Yonder, BTY, is Landon Hughes, the first bluegrass musician to show up and ascend the ranks in American Idol. Today we talked to him about his inspiration, about being a scholarship soccer player and finding out he's going to be on American Idol, and his longing for his home, the town of Hazard in Kentucky.
I used to hate home when I was growing up. You know, after coal crashed, a lot of stuff was taken away, and I was the first generation to really experience the Hazard with not a lot. When I first moved out to Kentucky, started playing college soccer, and I started missing home.
You longing for Hazard's the whole reason we're talking right now, right? I mean, seems like that. Tell me this story. Here you are, college soccer scholarship. You're moving away from the house, and then what happens to you? You're out on the pitch, and suddenly you get overcome with some Bill Monroe music?
Yeah. So I've been playing music way before I even played soccer growing up. So I've been playing music. I argue with my mom about this all the time. I say I was 5 years old. She says I was 6 years old. So it's not that big of a discrepancy if I'm wrong, which I'm not too upset about. But she stuck me in piano lessons when I was a real small child. So
Shout out to Miss Maggard.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Miss Maggard. Yeah, I used to Margaret Maggard. She's and Letha Patterson, great people. But yeah, I played classical piano growing up. That was like my stuff, and being able to do that kind of influenced me more than anything. Even the music I'm playing now, like music is such a like a cornerstone in my life. I grew up actually I told the story on Idol and they didn't air it, unfortunately, but it was I grew up playing in church a lot, so I played the piano and pipe organ in church, and singing in church, and singing out of the hymnal and doing that, and then trying to use that to best of my ability to start writing. I've been writing music since I was young, but that classical and gospel music turned into rock music because I thought it was sweet, and I was like, this is pretty cool. I want to be cool, so I started playing rock piano, blues piano, and I picked up guitar in middle school. And then I've been fortunate enough to say I picked up 5 more instruments after that. And I moved into jazz, did that. And then about my probably last year of high school, I really started getting into bluegrass. I was like, I hated it growing up. I hated country music growing up. I thought I was too good for it. I'll be honest with you. I was a little snooty. I was real snooty about it. But yeah, I mean, there was something that just kind of, I tied a lot to being in Lexington, which it's 2 hours from Hazard. It was different being up there for the 3 years of playing club and academy soccer up there, to where I was in the same state, but it felt like a different place.
Yeah.
And going up there kind of made me feel like I need to be home for a little bit and reconnect with home, even though it was 2 hours down the road. So I started listening to bluegrass, but I wasn't like nose to the grindstone on it. And then obviously I'd heard the music my whole life. I mean, there's so many songs written about Hazard. One I can think about is a 9-Pound Hammer says, it's a long way to Harlan, it's a long way to Hazard. That's like the line for me. I remember hearing that, I was like, oh my God, that's my hometown. But yeah, when I got up here to Cleveland, I mean, it was just like, within even like the second week of being up here, it was just, everything was so different. It was very, very overwhelming. And hearing the music and playing the music was real comforting. It's like, everyone up here, there's no one up here that talks like me. You know what I mean? Or
I was thinking
me.
that much of your time must be telling people where you're from.
Yeah, everyone thinks I'm from Texas or Alabama. I was like, you're not even close. Alabama's closer, but you're not even relatively close. Yeah, but like there's something so comforting, and this is really what drew me to the music. Really, was hearing people that talk like me and sound like me. And being able to understand the stories that they're telling and heavily relate with it, because all the bluegrass tunes, like even Little Maggie, which I played on Idol, is an old coal miner's tune. It's an ancient coal miner's tune, but it's the same. A lot of those bluegrass tunes, they tell the same stories that generations and generations have all seen the same, effects from. And it's something very, very deeply rooted, I think, in everyone from the mountains, especially in southeast Kentucky, where a lot of those songs come from. it's all deeply rooted into us. So like we're all interconnected with the music itself. But yeah, being up here in Cleveland really just put that spark underneath me to start playing. And then I put my guitar down, started focusing on soccer. It was my first ever college season, so I was, trying to get prep for it, taking everything real seriously. And that was like my main focus was that. And I would love to say school, but that was not the truth. But
You seem like you've got a lot going on. I mean, so if you get a
yeah,
C, this is those first couple of years, it's good. You got a lot going on. It's hard to adjust.
yeah. But yeah, I was doing that, and then I was training. We had a training session out in Willoughby on a grass field, and I was walking, kind of like side shuffling, and then stepped into a hole in my ankle. Say this is my foot. My ankle went down like this, and I landed like that, and tore a ligament in my ankle. It was swollen. Couldn't. I was in a wheelchair for a couple days, on crutches. Couldn't walk. Couldn't play. Do any of this, and I just remember being stuck in my room. And man, I hadn't touched my guitar in like probably 3 months. I hadn't even like picked it up. It was sitting underneath my bed. I'm in the same apartment building that I was in last year, but it was just sitting underneath my bed. And I remember thinking, I was like, okay, I can't get out of my room because it's too painful to walk anywhere. It even hurts to go get up and walk across the hallway to the bathroom. Enough, I'm not going to get out and do stuff. So I thought one thing that I could do next to sit on my video games all day, which I think was that productive. It was cool, but or sit on my computer or anything like that, or watch a YouTube or something like that. That I picked up my guitar and started playing, and I went through. There's an album, J.D. Crowe and the New South, one of my favorite bluegrass bands of all time. That first record with Tony Rice and Ricky Skaggs and Jerry Douglas and J.D. Crowe, all of them. Listened to that album and learned every album track off that, just listening to it. And then started going on from the earliest recordings of bluegrass music, from Bill Monroe's early recording, which is pre-Earl Scruggs, pre-Grand Ole Opry, and moving on to the Stanley Brothers, stuff that I've heard my whole entire life.
So you're going through some kind of Hazard County awakening here. Like the ancestors are calling out to you.
Yeah, it was like a very from being overwhelmed with school and all the soccer stuff, and changing lifestyle. And now I was overwhelmed with music.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a bad overwhelming. It was something that was very helpful, and kind of got me through my day to day. And I really fell in love with music. It was the spark that I really needed. And I kind of just did it in my room for a little bit, and then we have a thing up here called Jock and Roll, which is there's at Lake Erie College. So we have one member from each sports team will go up and try to do like a talent show type thing. And
Oh man, I'm
like, hey,
this is getting cinematic in my head right now. Like
yeah,
you're about to step up there with a slight limp in the guitar.
yeah, oh yeah, I was still crippled. Yeah, they asked me like, hey, we know you play, and I was like, yeah, and they're like, we'd like to get you up here and do a song. And I was like, okay, sweet. So I got up there and I did Tennessee Whiskey. I did the Chris Stapleton version of it, and had a blast. Man, the Jock and Roll thing is a big charity thing for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, so it is such a great cause. And I couldn't really ask for better people to be around. There's so many great performers there. So many people you would never expect to be great vocalists. And they were just outstanding.
Well, I imagine a lot of people saw that in you. They're like, "That's the soccer kid, and he's plucking like he's possessed." Like, did people know you had this? That you had this in you?
No, that was like majority. I'd say that was like majority. Even like my close friends' first time ever seeing me play, and I did that. And then the next week, I saw an ad for an open mic at the Lyric Bistro in Fairport Harbor, Ohio, which is right down the road from Painesville. It was right on the lake, and I started playing there. Started playing there every single week. My first ever open mic, I was there. I was the last person to play at about 11:45 p.m. and we ended up getting a full band up there with me, and we did some Grateful Dead stuff, some old bluegrass. I'm a big Dead head. I'm a really big head, but we played some old Grateful Dead, some old '70s like album tracks, then played some old bluegrass, and yeah, we had a blast. So I started coming back every week and started expanding on my shows. And then I recorded a video. Actually, my girlfriend Elena recorded a video of me at the Lyric doing a Nose to the Grindstone by Tyler Childers. And I posted that on Instagram, and then it got a little bit of traction. I think it has like 20,000 views or something. For the time this is way pre-Idol. That was numbers that were, outlandish for me. I never would have even thought I would have gotten anywhere close to that. But fast track through the spring semester, I play some shows, all that. It's going well, making a little bit of money playing, which I'm blessed to say, I've had a little bit of money influx with the music stuff, which a lot of people, I'm very lucky to be able to do that. But yeah, so fast forward through the spring semester, I move out to Las Vegas with my friends that I go to school with. So we work for Nike, JM Soccer Academy, and we were playing semi-professional soccer, and just doing that up and down the line, all across the West, doing these camps for these kids, all the way from little kids, 5-year-olds to college-age kids, or high school kids wanting to go to college, helping them out with soccer.
Yeah, I'm
And then
picturing
doing
a
the
musical
whole thing with
montage
Nike.
right now with set to bluegrass. That's what I see. You see it in the movie. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
teaching you're teaching soccer everywhere.
Yeah, so we're living out in Vegas, big switch up, and yeah, I'm in a Top Golf with Nick and his cousin Max, one of my close friends now, and I get a random Instagram DM and comment duo from this lady named Ariel Panzer, and she's like, "Hey, DM me." So I look at my DMs. She's like, "Hey, I'm a producer for American Idol. I'd like for you to call." She's like, "I really like your stuff," and it was on that video that I recorded at the Lyric for Nose the Grindstone. It was on that video. And she's like, "I would love to have you on a call." So I went there and hit some golf balls. That top golf out there had really good buffalo chicken dip. I'll never forget that. Tore up some buffalo chicken dip, hit some golf balls. Did who God knows what else that night, and then got back to the house. Got up for work the next morning, and did the whole camp. Had to leave work early. Got on a call with Ariel, and we set it up. And then I went through the whole process online, sent some self tapes in. And then by the time I got back from Vegas to Kentucky, I was working at Hazard Coffee Company, which is the coffee shop that I've been working at for a couple of years now when I'm home. I was actually in Whitesburg, Kentucky. And I got the call and like, "Hey, we'd love to have you on the show. We want to air you in Nashville." And then from there on, went down to Nashville in November, and now I'm here.
Oh
In
man, let's go
November,
slow.
October and November.
It's got to go slow motion here for a second. When you get this call and you're working, and what's that like? I mean, did you just light up Hazard County?
Perry County. There.
Oh, geez. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Dukes
No,
Hazard right now.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
you just light
I
up
don't.
Hazard.
Yeah, I don't blame you a bit. Sometimes I still get it confused. I love the Dukes, everything in me.
Oh, I can't imagine
But
as a kid growing up in Hazard, and then
oh yeah,
Luke and Bo are driving around like what?
I'm actually coming out with merch. Let me grab this out right here. Hopefully my brightness will allow you to see this.
Oh yeah, that's good. Oh wow, that's awesome.
And on the back it's got a '05 instead of the '01 on the General Leagues. That's the year I was born.
Oh
But
sweet.
yeah, that's my first line that's coming out. But yeah, I mean the Dukes of Hazzard is something crazy. But it was yeah, I mean luckily I was off shift. It was a slow day in Whitesburg, and I had just locked up the doors. I was cleaning the coffee shop, and yeah, got a call, and she kind of baited me a second for it. She's like, "Hey," she's like, "I'm so sorry that you had to figure it out like this." I was like, "Damn," I'm like, "I've got not gonna air. This sucks. Like this is terrible." And she's like, "I hate to tell you like this, but you're going on the show," and it was just like tears, tears. I was ugly crying. I'm glad there's no cameras around. Or I'm glad she didn't call me when I was on shift. Oh my, it was bad. And made the trek back from Whitesburg to Hazard, and it was crazy. I don't think I went under the speed limit the whole time back. I was flying all the way back, but yeah,
I think if you were pulled
it was
over, the
surreal.
officer would forgive you. He'd be like, "No, I understand, Mr. Hughes. Run along
Yeah,
dangerously."
I think I have an excuse now. If I can play oh god, some Jerry Reed, some old Smokey and the Bandit stuff, I think I can fly and be all right.
Yeah, yeah. You get respect for that. So you
Yeah,
yeah, so you figure it out. You get on the show, but then you progress on the show.
yeah,
And to be selected. I mean, here you were kind of used as a way to promote the show. They're probably reaching out to whole new demographics with you. Was
yeah.
that some part of the conversation? Like, okay, we have this unicorn that we've never had on the show. Have you? Maybe American Idol didn't use that intentionally, but have you felt yourself, you know, as the opportunity to present this whole new genre to American Idol audiences?
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, this is something that I can go on. Hold on, I'll unplug my computer real quick.
Yeah.
There we go. It's no, but it's crazy. Like, being able to say I was the first ever person to go on there and actually play bluegrass is like something that really still brings tears to my eyes. It's something like I don't like to be very proud of myself very often because I think being very proud of yourself leads to being comfortable, and being comfortable is being stagnant. And not being
Hmm.
able to move forward in life. But I think this is one thing that I can kind of sit back and look retrospectively and be very very proud about. Like it's crazy that first off, I think it's crazy there's no one that's ever done it before me because like this music's been around forever. Like you'd expect
Right.
someone to go in there and do it.
Yeah.
But as I said before, I've not played bluegrass that long. I've only played for maybe seriously for 2 years, 2 or 3 years. Like it is like specifically playing bluegrass, and I wanted to really go on there and do it, not just because it's the music I love to play, but for the people that I love and the place that I love, which is home. And being able to go on there and do it is so much more than just music to me. Because if it would have been up to me, I played 7 instruments. I could have went on there and done any genre that I want to do. But for me to choose bluegrass is really speaking from my heart and speaking for the people that raised me and the place that raised me. But yeah, they definitely me doing bluegrass on Idol really they I mean they reached a whole new audience with it. And whether in a good way or a bad way, I'm not perfect without lack of criticism, which I'm open to criticism always. But
Well, well, let's
yeah,
this
it's
moment. I love this moment where you're playing Little Maggie, and for me, the person that blows my mind is you got Lionel Richie and you in a room. Like if I
I'm the
would have
same way.
told you 2 years ago, like, hey, Landon, keep your head up. You and Lionel Richie are going to be sharing notes over your performance of Little Maggie. How mind blowing was this?
Yeah, that was the craziest one. No disrespect to Luca Carey, great people, but dude, Lionel Richie, are we serious? He's the
Yeah.
man. And this is my favorite part of my whole entire audition. They cut it. Was I went on there and we were talking, and he said, "Man," he's like, "You have the personality to sell me a car." And I said, "Yeah, dude." I was like, "Probably." I'm like, "I appreciate that." He's like, "Do you sell cars?" I said, "No, hell, I don't sell cars." He's like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "I'll sell you my car, though." You're Lionel Richie, dude. If you want my car, you can have it. For
You
the
got
right
some
price.
Commodore's money lying around. I could sell you my car.
Yeah, it'd be if you know what I'm saying, it'd be easy. But,
Well, okay, yeah. No disrespect to Carrie and Luke. Of course, I think they realize who they're sitting with. But Luke
yeah,
Bryant gives you a little bit of stink eye, and I know there's a lot of editing that goes on. But you start singing.
yeah.
Was there some aversion that you detected from Luke Bryant?
I don't even think that was during my audition. I'll be honest with
Oh,
you. Yeah, it was
typical.
yeah, no, it's reality TV. At the end of the day, it's reality TV. To be honest, the most critical out of all three of them was Lionel,
Huh?
which obviously wasn't shown. But yeah, he was by far the most critical. But what I think they were trying to do was, it's the country guy going with the country guy. We're going to
Yeah.
be real critical on it. But yeah, Lionel was definitely the most critical. But end of the day, it's reality TV. No hate to any three of them. They were outstandingly great people. I was lucky enough to catch them at the right time after my audition to be able to talk to them all personally after. And they were all three just outstanding people. Carrie was so genuine and nice to be around. Luke the same way. Lionel, actually, I got to talk to for a little bit, probably close to 10 minutes, just uninterrupted, backstage, because it was right after my interview. They had taken, I think, lunch. And he was walking backstage, and I had to take my opportunity. I had my ticket with me walking around, my deodorant worn off, and my big tie-dye smelled bad. And I said, Lionel. The dude came over, shook his hand, talked to him for a little bit, and he's a cool guy. They're all three. It still blows my mind that Lionel's one of the most easily recognizable names and faces of music ever, but it's still just a down to earth. He's just a guy. He
Yeah.
does the same stuff that we do. He's just a normal person. It's
Just
definitely
people
not
trying to
shown
do
in
their
day to day
best.
media. Dude, at the end of the day, he's doing his job. He's working. He does. It's literally there's celebrities that have that are bigger than life for some people. And to my eyes, Lionel Richie is one of those names that really comes up. I'm a very big. I love soul music. I love funk music. I'm a big Stevie Wonder fan, stuff like that. But yeah, like a lot of celebrities you'll see that are like bigger than life, and I've been fortunate enough to say that I've been around some of them, and they're people. You know, we're all humans.
Yeah.
But it's so crazy to see it in person than rather hear someone say that like online or on like a blog or something, or them come out and just say that. But yeah, being around them, I think the biggest takeaway that I really got from it was that just like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how big people are, we all do the same stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone literally is. We all get up in the morning and eat breakfast. Some of us
Yeah.
don't eat breakfast, but we eat food and we drink water. Hopefully, maybe a little
Well,
bit
you
of
eat
other
something. I'm
liquids.
surprised you play soccer. You're built like a linebacker. Is
Dude, I
that
appreciate it.
intimidating for the other soccer guys? Like,
No, because I'm 5'8".
oh, okay, yeah. So you're coming
Yeah,
at it with some compensation.
I bite their ankles usually, but yeah, no, I put on some weight. I weigh about 175 pounds as the bird flies. When I weighed in this morning, this summer I weighed in at about 198, and I was as we say down here, a big hoss cat. But I was a monster and had to burn some of it off for soccer. But yeah, I've gained it back a little bit. Glad I lost for idle because it was just like it was so tedious the amount of time we were down there. I didn't get to have my scheduled meals daily, and I was down. I think during recording I was probably 100 and probably about 10 pounds less than I am now, something like that, 10, 11 pounds. But
What?
no, people aren't people. I'm not an intimidating guy. I'll be honest.
Oh,
I
I don't
wish I
know.
was, but
You're bringing the total package here, Landon, with the 7 instruments and a soccer scholarship. And what doors have you opened now? Like what has this done for you on the other side of idle that you see some opportunity?
just connecting with people, like that's been I think the biggest takeaway. Uh, like a lot, I didn't get a lot of notes even on my Hollywood Week performance. So I did Soul Shine by the Allman Brothers, which is one of my. I mean, the Allman Brothers are for me one of my favorite bands ever. It's like them, Marshall Tucker Band, talking Southern rock,
Yeah.
Skinner's up there. Like those bands. That's the music I really heard growing up, coming from a strong rock background.
But I got to ask a
But
question. Do you play the flute?
no,
I was going to say,
no.
because Marshall Tucker, I always love that they incorporated a flute. I'm like, wow,
Oh
that
yeah,
is
because yeah,
so
you hear that's the first thing you hear on "Can't You See" next to the guitar.
right. I'm like, man,
Yeah, it's
that's a
awesome.
dude comfortable with himself up there, the flute on the
We
rock
did
stage.
we did it. I did that live the other night with a band it was actually in Fairport Harbor, and instead of the flute, we had to do playing saxophone over it, and it was
Oh,
pretty
that's
sweet.
cool.
It
Yeah.
was pretty sweet. He had a tenor sax with him. But yeah, I'd say the biggest takeaway has been the connections I've been able to make with people, and then the gigs, like the booking. The booking has been sweet, especially stuff like I'm doing right here talking to you. This has been awesome. I'm very appreciative of y'all having me on.
Oh, we
And
appreciate you.
I've been doing a couple other podcast interviews. I was on a State Line podcast last night, which is a thing in Kentucky. They do the things for the University of Kentucky, and got to talk to two guys that are pretty cool. And I don't know. I will say the booking has been sweet, but just being able to connect with so many different people is really the end goal. My goal in life is to one travel the world, experience as much stuff as I can, really just be a sponge. But as much to be a sponge to places, to be a sponge to people. I like hearing people's stories. I like talking to people, figuring out their background, where they're from, and because I think it shapes you as a person. You can only see so much as one person, and having this outreach. I mean, a couple of million views on this the socials alone. I don't know the exact analytics for the episode, but just being able to have that amount of reach with so many people and be able to hear so many, I'm finally getting to respond to everyone that's reached out to me after the couple weeks it's been because my phone, I basically turned it off after Idle, and it's kind of still turned off next to like my personal numbers that I have saved. But yeah, just being able to connect with all these people and hear their backgrounds, and and glad that they're connecting with me and enjoying my stuff, and I'm enjoying their stuff just as much as it's been. I'm very grateful for that, because that, in the end of the day, it means so much more than music. It means so much more than me going on stage and playing guitar, because it's human interaction, it's real stories, and it's connection.
Well, and there's some kids out there picking up a guitar right now, going to try to make that noise you were making, and some of them just may stick with it.
I hope so that at the end of the day, that's really my end goal with music specifically. The bluegrass heritage comes from hearing people play and picking it up. You get inspired by someone, you're like, hey, that's pretty sweet. I want to do that. And yeah, I mean, that's what I want to do. I want to be the person, not even really the person. I want to make something that people could look back upon and be like, hey, this really made me want to express myself. It could be through music or even slam poetry. I can get down with that. You know, Landon made me do slam poetry. I don't know how I feel about it, but, you know, it's expression.
Yeah.
Just being able to say, like, oh, yeah, I helped someone. Because I think that self-expression through art is the best form of, you know, bettering your mental health, I think. Because you're exerting so much stress and anxieties out of your body, whether that be through music or painting or anything like that. Like writing. I'm an English major in college, so I write all the time.
Yeah, it's great.
And like it's such a de-stress thing. But I want to be that person to say, oh yeah, he's who inspired me or laid the foundation for me to be able to express myself for the betterment of my life, so that can get passed down again. Because I think that should be everyone's goal with music. There's so many people now in the industry, and like with Idol, I'm really getting my first real taste of the music industry. That like at the end of the day, a lot of people are here strictly for money, to get famous and stuff like that. If I get famous or make money through all this, so what? I get famous and make money through all of it. My end goal is to carry on a long-standing, oral heritage that I want to keep getting passed down. So, my type of music and just music in general gets passed down. I love all types of music. I was just saying this on State Line yesterday. I'm a big rap fan. Big like 2000s rap, 90s rap. That's my stuff. Even stuff like that. If it keeps getting passed down, that's how music as an art form survives, and people keep innovating and expressing, because every single thing in day to day can be seen in an artistic view, whether that be even the apartment building that I'm in right now, or the house that you're in, or office that you're in right now. The architect that was designing this, you're looking around it, it's art in some sort of fashion. Art runs the world, and there has to be stuff to inspire art. And if I can even be a fraction of an inspiration to someone to, create something different, or be able to express themselves in a way they never would have done before, that's the way. That's really what I want to do with my life.
Well said, Landon. Thank you so much for the time. Landon Hughes, breaking the glass ceiling on American Idol, the first bluegrass artist. And really, thank you, because you're gobbling up some airtime, some internet time that, like you say, is art, and a guy stepping out and showing off something that's been around for a while but new to a lot of people, and we greatly appreciate it here.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for having me.
You go in there and tell them what this small town Eastern Kentucky boy.
Hazard, Kentucky.
Let's go get it. I genuinely appreciate this audition more than a lot of people ever know, and I'm going out here to pick it fast, sing it loud. Hopefully it has an impact on them.